Hi guys, it's Lee again, and we are here to discuss episode 21 of Young Justice Image. By the way, even those who are not Irish, happy St. Patty's Day, and of course, thank Green. And I know Green Lantern didn't play at all part of this, but I'm going with the Green Lantern anyway. But it just so happens that on St. Patrick's Day, we're going with the Green Girl, who happens to be the White Girl, happens to be the Martian Girl. But we'll get into that in a few minutes. Now, the episode image starts out with Ollie and Diane being shown something that is totally shocking. Shocking to them, shocking to me, and I'm sure shocking to everyone else watching in the actual real world. The image is supposedly of Dinah and Superboy training, and then Dinah says something and then starts making out with Superboy. And Ollie's like, "What?" And Dinah's like, "This never happened." And Batman is like, "Keep watching, keep watching." And it turns out to be McGann. And Black Canary Dinah is not thrilled that she is imitating her. And McGann is watching this made up only in, the Young Justice world show, reruns of her favorite Earth television show, Hello Meg. And she says, "Can I see you for a moment, McGann?" He says, "Yeah, sure." And she changes back into Megan. And it's like, you can't go around imitating me like that. No, bad. Bad teenage girl. Why am I talking like she's a dog? Anyway, the mission comes up. Now, Aqualad is with Aquaman doing the Aqua thing in Atlantis. So Robin gets to be team leader. And once again, when your team leader is a 13-year-old boy, you may have problems. But turns out not the problems that you think you'd have, but anyway, they have to go to the country of Quark to find out what in the world is the problem with the newly elected president, who is going to sign over everything to Queen Bee of Bialia, as both countries were one big country. And basically it's like the Arab Spring of they're imitating Arab Spring, or the thing in Tunisia. Well, technically that was part of Arab Spring. And what's going on in Syria and Lebanon and Egypt. They're taking care of that. So the group is flying over Africa. They get to the Quark, and I hope I pronounced that name right. And they run across this thing called they see this woman and her son about to be stampeded, and it's called something called the Logan Retreat. And Megan's like, "We've got to stop him. We've got to save them." And they eventually do save him, but in a way that to cause a diplomatic incident, which is always helpful. Not causing diplomatic incidents. Fewer diplomatic incidents is better. It turns out, and none of the boys know this, that this doctor was actually a former teenage actress who McGann has copied, idolized, and just like worshipped since she can remember. Remember, she's 16 here on Earth, 48 up in Mars. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that since she was 12 Earth years, she seen this. Obviously, the show is like 20 years old. It only ran one season, but her uncle sent it back to Mars. I'm not exactly sure how the thing can, stay in Mars, but she's like she's met her idol. Eventually, we find out that she even copied her hairstyle to come here, not just say hello, Megan, which is where she got the phrase from. And it turns out the act and what I think they're doing is actually with this character either making fun of the fact that the voice actress of McGann, uh, Dana McKellar, who was an actual child star 20 some years ago. Um, had this other life, or Mia Bialik, who through all of us knows now is on The Big Bang Theory, but it was also a female teen star 20 some odd years ago. Anyway, so the actress, now doctor's son, needs a blood transfusion, and he's O negative, and neither of the boys are. Forget Superboy, he's Kryptonian. But Megan says, I can possibly, if I have a piece of his blood, I can become O negative, and they do the blood transfusion that way. Meanwhile, they still have to get to the president, who it turns out is being controlled, and his own daughter is being um, kidnapped or held, or something. So cause this what's it called? Alliance with Queen Bee in the first place. They run into Simon, who's still on the loose, and Simon makes McGann live her worst fear. And we get to see what a white Martian really looks like. And let's face it, if I were McGann, or if I were a white Martian, I wouldn't want, after the model I chose, to hide behind. I wouldn't want to, have anyone know what I really look like either, and forget, my significant other. Of course, I wish I had a significant other, but that's a whole other story. Anyway, so McGann, defeats Simon. They free the president's daughter. The son of the doctor, actress, Logan woman, is fine, and her son considers Megan her blood brother. Wally, with the souvenir of the actual tape that I'm sure he asked to take with him, just because he needs a souvenir of some kind. And we see at the very end McGann checking in on Max, the little boy, and it turns out Queen Bee has already infected him. So if anything attacks Queen Bee, Max will come after that person. Now, I'm not sure if it's just on Queen Bee's death, or merely she's attacked, but we'll find out. Anyway, I was half embarrassed watching this thing. Maybe it's my age of 34. Maybe it's me remembering being 12 and not being able to get the just to switch the television thing because they didn't have the return button. When I was 12, you could change the channel, but you'd have to actually press which channel you could. There was no return button. Anyway, episode 22 is next week. We'll find out what that is. See you then.